What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel for yet another bodybuilding news update. We are officially a week and a half out from the 2024 Mr. Olympia competition. And I've got some updates here today on one, Wesley Vissers and the choice words that he had on his competition directly with both Ramon Dino and Chris Bumstead, and an injury from Andrew Jack at just a week and a half out of the show, you guys. But we're going to start off with Wesley Vissers here. So Wesley posted some physique updates on his Instagram, and I mean, it's actually unbelievable to see the detail that continues to come in for Wesley, even at a week and a half out. In fact, he said in one of his updates that he continued to get more high days because his weight is below the weight cap at this point, and he does still have room to continue to push those carbohydrates in his diet. I mean, this is the perfect scenario for a competitor like Wesley Vissers. Just look at the striations through the shoulders, the separation in every single muscle group, and imagine what this will look like when Wesley finally does start his peak week. You know, this is really going to be a banner year for Wesley Vissers, without question. But in a recent interview that I saw, Wesley actually did with RepOne. I'm going to put the video link down in the comments below for you guys. Wesley recently did an interview where he talked about exactly where he expects to place in terms of standing next to Ramon Dino and standing next to none other than the reigning, defending, ultimate champion of the Classic Physique division, Chris Bumstead. So let's hear what Wesley had to say about Ramon Dino first. Check it out.
I think Ramon won't be able to beat me ever again anymore. So I actually today I saw an update of him doing a back double bicep. If I look outside of myself, I'm like, everybody below the comments are like, like some people are like, oh, Wesley is much better, but others are like, forget about Wesley, look at Ramon right now, it's going to be the same over again, like the last Olympia with Chris and Ramon. But I'm like, I'm seeing that footage and I'm like, if this is Ramon right now, I for sure will beat him. Like, that's honestly what I'm thinking, because that's my mindset right now.
I am sure that I will beat him. Ramon will never beat me again. Direct from Wesley Vissers, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? I tend to agree. I know that a lot of you guys saw the updates from Ramon Dino, which have been few and far between for this entire Olympia prep thus far. And I think part of the reason for that is because Ramon just is not confident in what he's bringing to the stage. And look, I've looked at some of the things that Ramon has put out there. He's put out a fair bit of training footage as well. And although he's going heavy, I don't think that he's training with the intensity that you want to see from a guy who wants to win that Olympia title. And you know what? It might be understandable that this guy is just, I mean, maybe beat down a little bit. I mean, consistently always finishing to Chris Bumstead year after year after year. I mean, we saw it happen with Kai Green as well. Eventually you get to a point where it's just like, man, they're just not going to give it to me. Kevin Lavroni, another good point there. Perhaps Ramon Dino is getting to that point. And especially when you have someone like Wesley Vissers coming right up behind you, well, actually surpassing him now, that's got to be a big hit for Ramon Dino.
Before the Arnold, I honestly didn't think, even if I thought I had the better physique, I thought they were looking for a specific type of look, that even if my back or chest or arms are better, the whole package needs to be pleasing for the judges. So now the Arnold happened, which means that the package I can bring does have that effect. It beat Ramon.
Yeah, it certainly did. So this is what Wesley had to say about Ramon Dino, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Do you think that Wesley Vissers will defeat Ramon Dino once again, especially after what we saw at the 2024 Arnold Classic? You guys let me know in the comments below. But Wesley, like I said, did not have just things to say about Ramon Dino in particular. He went after the reigning, defending champion of Classic Physique, like I said, the ultimate champion of the division, Chris Bumstead. Let's hear what he had to say about Chris. Check it out here.
Yes, if my physique is better at this point than Ramon's is, why not have the belief in yourself that you can beat him again? Because it would be stupid if you say, oh, maybe he's going to beat me now. No, I'm the last one to beat him now. So, of course, that's the kind of mindset I'll have to the Olympia.
Strong words there for sure. But I mean, to be frank about it, he's right. Anyway, let's hear what he had to say about Chris.
The only guy left is going to be Chris, who I've never been directly compared to yet. So that's a very exciting battle.
Right. Yeah.
But even then, I've said it a few times now, but I want to give Chris the hardest battle he has ever had on the Olympia stage.
I will give Chris the hardest battle that he's ever had on the Olympia stage so far. And he goes on to speak about Breon Ainsley and how it'll be the toughest battle since Breon really had his reign. But of course, Breon was a different bodybuilder then, and so was Chris Bumstead. I encourage you guys to go check the whole video. Like I said, it's in the description below. But this is where Wesley Vissers is sitting at a week and a half out from the Mr. Olympia competition, all right? This is a guy that knows exactly where he stands. He is completely aware of his rise in this division, and I think that he knows that he is the heir apparent to the title at this point. And I could not be more thrilled about this, ladies and gentlemen. I think that Wesley definitely embodies exactly what we want to see in the classic physique division. And again, this is a new division, you know, relatively speaking. So it makes sense that it would continue to evolve. And it makes sense that a guy like Wesley Vissers, who really does encapsulate, I think, the best version of modern era bodybuilding and that golden era of bodybuilding. To me, that's always been what classic physique really is. But, you know, I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think about Wesley has to say about his confidence over Ramon Dino? Should he be that confident? Or, based on some of the updates that you saw from Ramon, do you think that maybe he's a little overconfident at this point? And what do you think about what he has to say about Chris Bumstead? You know, he said that he will definitely give Chris the greatest battle that he's ever seen. More than Ramon, more than Breon Ainsley. You guys let me know in the comments below. But, you know, as of right now, my money is going squarely on Wesley taking second place to Chris. But as soon as Chris decides to retire, that's going to be it. All right, now this last one, you guys, when it comes to Andrew Jacked, just wait until you hear this one. I mean, these are critical times for competitors at the elite level of bodybuilding. When you're at about that 2-week out mark, you know, you're really starting to drop on calories. The energy is low. The risk for injury is way up. And I've heard Psycho Lewis talk about this, where they've really switched to doing primarily cables and machines in order to avoid having any increased risk in injury for Andrew. Now, he's doing some free weights here, but obviously it's a little bit more controlled. You know, he's in a seated position. But is that because they really want to put him in a safer spot in order to avoid injury? Or, as you guys are going to hear, are they just trying to work through an injury right now? And how serious is this? I'm going to show you guys exactly what Andrew had to say, and I've also got some words on Psycho Lewis, which really tell how serious this injury could have been. And then we'll talk about how it might affect Andrew going into this year's Olympia, which this could be the year that Andrew Jacked, so many people have him cracking that top 3 this year, you know, so many people, especially after what we saw in Texas. But check out what Andrew had to say here.
He's at my elbows, and then I trapped some wind in my rib cage. That messed me up.
He was talking about when he was
Mentally.
warming up, trapped some air in his rib cage.
And bent properly on this side. I can pick up weight properly. I have to let it. Yeah, some movements were pretty good. Some movements I had to like fight. But in between the workout, even I asked the crew to help me out, put some weight on my back to ease the pressure.
Just to ease off the pressure, they had to actually step on Andrew's back so he could get through the workout. Man, I mean, I've seen injuries before where guys would be completely taken out of being able to train, you know, strains or whatever it might have been. But this is a new one for me. Anyway, let's hear what else he has to say.
Helpful to please finish the workout, which is more important than stopping halfway. So yeah, here's what it is, though. I can't complain, but another remedy, you just go get take some hot bath, take some hot tea, put some hot pressure in there to, you know, push out the stuck air, and while doing some stretches. So yeah, I'll be good definitely by the end of the day.
Okay, so Andrew figures that he would have been good by the end of the day based on what he said this was trapped air near his rib cage. Now, I actually did a little bit of reading on this. Some of this could be, and I have no idea. He doesn't say any further on what he thinks may have caused the injury, but some of it may be diet related. I don't exactly know. I don't know what Andrew's diet actually is, of course. But again, this is something that he thought he could remedy quickly. And honestly, I don't think he would have went on video and said these things if he didn't think that he could remedy this quickly. I think that part of doing movements like this, I haven't seen them do movements like this before that I've noticed. So I think this is where they're just trying to take the strain off of the rib cage, and even movements like this to try to open it up a little bit, to try and take the strain off of it, not necessarily putting anything down where the elbows might be able to push into the rib cage, allowing the rest of the body to really take that strain. But either way, this is bad news. No matter what way you slice it, this will cost Andrew potentially some progress going into the most important Olympia of his career. I mean, he took 5th place in 2023, You can see just the look on his face like, man, he is hurting right now. But you know what? Mad props to Andrew Jack. He continued to push through the workout. He continued to let everybody film. He just said, you know what? We're doing this. And I think that speaks to a certain level of his confidence, and he really should be confident, of course. But Psycho Lewis had something to say here as well when it came to Andrew's injury, which does tell us maybe a little bit more of the timeline to the extent under which Andrew was injured and what it may have affected when it comes to his prep. Check it out here.
Chest workout for Andrew, and we have some maintenance stuff we need to do, and we gotta do some very strenuous posing. I took 2 days off of posing because he just needed 2 days off from the posing, so we took off 3 days. So he hadn't posed in 3 days.
Yeah, he needed 3 days off from posing because he was injured, because he had this trapped gas, whatever it was that he called it, right? So that's 3 days of no posing practice for Andrew Jack, Now, with that being said, of course, Andrew is one of the best posers I really think in the IFBB right now. He knows how to display his physique, I think, better than most.
What we do as far as the rounds, we didn't give him a little break. And what I saw yesterday after the pictures, not the posing round, the pictures.
Yeah, so he still was taking progress pictures, that's encouraging.
He would crush Texas by 40%. Literally. He would crush Texas by 40%, and he would crush Texas. He would crush his 5th place at the Olympia by 80%. 80%.
80% better than what he was at the 2023 Olympia taking 5th place. 40% better than his best look of his career at the Texas Pro 2023. Strong words. So we've heard from Andrew Jack. We've heard from Psycho Lewis. We know that this affected at least 3 days of Andrew's posing rounds. And it's probably safe to say that if he needed the break from posing, he probably needed to pull back on training to an extent as well. Cardio, we can probably assume that he could get through cardio. But you guys let me know really what you think about this in the comments below. Do you think that something like this could be so detrimental to Andrew Jack's prep that it could cost him placings at this Olympia? Do you think that this could cause him to fall out of that top 5? Or do you think that Andrew Jack really will show up at the Olympia at his all-time best, and this was a temporary situation? Maybe you guys have been through something like this before. Let me know in the comments below. As for me, I have a hard time placing Andrew outside of that top 3, even given this information. I mean, talk to Xavier Wills. He's actually got him in 1st place, But I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Let me know about where you think Andrew Jack may place now at the 2024 Mr. Olympia, if this changes your opinion at all. But one thing's for sure, we're going to find out here real soon. 1.5 weeks out from the 2024, the 60th anniversary of the 2024 Mr. Olympia competition. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. We've got a lot more content coming between now and the Olympia. Stay tuned. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everybody being here as always. But for now, thank you for tuning into EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.